everybody, and welcome to Blood Bowl. I am Complacent Badger,
I am Sierra Kilo.
and this is not the third time we're trying to do this. The regular season's done.
Hey, I'm really excited about how the regular season turned out. There was a lot of good players developed, a lot of good teams developed, and we saw a lot of new blood on the Blood Bowl pitch.
Yeah, there's a lot of new blood being spilled all over the Blood Bowl pitch.
It was good. So now that we've had the final game of Week 10 of the regular season played, we know who the top 4 players are in each group.
Groups.
So that's not up for debate. But what is up for debate is who's playing who in the first round of the playoffs.
Yes. Very much so. We have been talking, if any of you have been listening, probably not, that is going to be the 1 versus 4, and I don't want to... And what a guy. He's challenging my halfling team.
That's good. Bro, smash his dick off right now.
This becomes a recap. Immediately. No.
Deja vu all over again.
Yeah, all right. So, back to the point. We originally thought it was going to be 1 and 4 of each group that was going against each other, and then 2 and 3 of each group that were going against each other. But what it turns out to be...
I'll wait for you.
...is that they cross.
So we're going to mix and match groups.
Yes. The Nuffle has blessed us with a mixed seating.
Now, I'm really excited about this for 2 reasons. 1, I'm scared of everybody in my group. And 2, I've played them all twice, so I have an opportunity to play a team that I haven't played against yet. And that's going to mean that I'm going to have to go back and re-engage the videos and the commentaries that we've done and really see and pick apart how Ryuwukin plays against teams that are like mine.
Yep, and this is very important to do because if you lose, you're out.
Yeah, and I don't want to be out.
Nope, and this will be a more important game than any of the regular season games.
I agree with you. And let's kind of talk about the playoffs right now when we go. Ducky Shoes is going to be playing the Elites, so that's going to be a pretty exciting matchup, the agility versus agility. I don't think the Elites have had to play such a specifically leveled up agility team. They've had to play Master Moose's Corsairs and have had we won't say mixed results, but they put up a good fight against a superb coach, and now the spousal tag team is going to rain down terror upon him. Yeah,
I think the Elites have a pretty bad uphill battle right now. The one benefit that he's going to have against the Sunday Speedwalkers is that he's got the armor value. He's going to have to be very careful about those war dancers getting picks and just doing what they do best, scoring.
Right, but he showed, even against me, he had, 3 players and managed to score a touchdown, so
yep.
He's a 2-turn touchdown machine. She is as well, and but she has the war dancers with that leap that is going to be a concern for him.
Yep, Sunday Speedwalkers are going to have to worry more about this is a team that can pick passes. You're going to be, every player can. You got to be really careful about who you're passing over. And, and you can't just outpace them. This team is as fast as you, and they're tougher than you are. So, and he's modeled his team in a bashing league, so he might be able to out-hit you.
Yeah, I really like it, and his play style is superb, not as is hers. So this is going to be, one for the season. I'm glad that they play each other because I'd hate to have to play them both.
Yep, this is going to be a game of pure fundamentals versus just off-the-wall, ridiculous elf stuff, and we're going to see right here which one's going to win it.
Right, good stuff. Moving right down to the Crazy Eights versus the Smashes, another game that I feel super super excited that I don't have to play both of those teams.
That's about 50% of the teams that I would have not have wanted to play either.
Right. So that takes out half of them.
Yeah, these teams have met each other before, but it has been many games since the last time they've met one another. So
right.
They're very different teams now. Crazy Eights are going to have to deal with the fact that they might not be the toughest guy, or rather the strongest guys on the pitch.
100% true. He does have. I don't know if Mastrax played him when he's had his Bloodthirster, though.
I don't believe he did. I think.
So.
And even if he did, it was maybe one game.
Right, because I think the Action Jackson got that in the last 1 or 2 games of the previous season.
Mm-hmm.
So this is going to be a lot of new ground for these guys because they've played against Bash teams, but not against the specific Bashness that each one brings to the table.
Exactly.
And no matter who wins this game,
the next game will be hard.
You're still gonna come out a bit of a loser, I think.
Yeah.
Gonna be limping into the next game. So even in the pursuit of victory, I mean, first off, that's your priority, but second off is being able to functionally play next week, or the following week, I should say, in the semis.
Yep. And Snarl 2 Smashes, they're just going to have to be extraordinarily careful who they go up against and make sure that they can put the knife in and keep it there, because any false moves is going to make them lose a lot of players, especially with that Bloodthirster and Claw. I expect to see the Snarl 2 Smashers not coming out of this one unscathed.
Right, and we go on the other side for Action Jackson. You have to make a list of priorities and follow them, because if you don't get enough of your turns in, all you're doing is giving your opponent free hits. And that's the scariest thing that you can do against a team like this.
Yep, Snarl 2 Smashes is not a team that you want to go against where you're not playing your best, because they will trample you.
Right.
The next one, we have Master Moose and the Corsairs versus Ares, and this isn't hockey.
This is going to be a really a good game as well. You know, we're talking about the agility style going at each other again. So
this is going to be a tough game, I think. For this isn't hockey. This is going to probably, because we saw at the end of the season, the regular season, how much problem he had with Ducky Shoes. So
right.
He's had practice now. Corsairs do a lot of similar things, not the exact same method, but it's a similar ideology of get the ball, get the score. In a short passing game versus Ducky Shoes, long passing game, but it's still similar ideals. So he's had 2 practice games right back to back. So let's see if that helps him. Third time's a charm.
Right, and that might be all that he needs. Is if you go against somebody and you don't do too well, and go against him again and you do slightly better, but you still don't have the victory. You have that fear a little bit going into playing him again or having to play him again. But this is a really good opportunity to play against somebody who's a similar style, a similar coach, but isn't the same team. So it doesn't have that same level of threat, I don't think.
Yep.
Even though it's, coach versus student.
Yep. And I think the Corsairs here are going to have the issue of they've really played a game where they, with the few players that they have remaining towards the end of the game, they tend to play where they restrict movement. They apply players where they need them, and then back players off where they know they're not going to win the fight. I think in this fight, Corsairs are not going to have the control of the pitch. Dodge throughout means that this isn't hockey is going to be able to go where he needs to go. And that might be an issue for the Corsairs.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. But I think that it's going to be a fair match. And, as it goes down the line, another blessing where I don't have to play both of those guys.
Yep. And for the last but not least matchup, we have Sierra Keel with the Nordic Kneecappers versus Jester with the Rio Wookin.
Yeah, I'm not feeling super strong against these guys. I mean, they've been doing a really good job. They've got players who counteract my abilities with my Frenzy, for instance, where their flesh golems have stand firm, so I'm not going to be able just to push guys out of the way. Having some bigger guys is we've seen that I've had a little bit of difficulty playing against. For instance, the Moomies gave me a little bit of fits when you got 2 big guys on a line. And I've got my 1 big guy and a couple dudes who only have blocks. So this is going to come down to a pretty strategic game. And it is, we looked at his Week 10 match against Tasty Action, and we really see the development that he's had as a coach, and he did a super good job that game.
Yes, he did.
When you're playing really technical, really smart Blood Bowl, and there's no for sure victor in any of these matches.
No, for the Nordic Kneecappers, it's going to be a game where they have to use their player skill to their advantage, and obviously their experience their advantage, but going to have to be watching out for key players such as the Flesh Golems, who are going to kind of control the line and maybe even outpower Brett. And the big deal is going to be the Werewolves, who could potentially take out Brett early in the game if they put a hit out on him.
Right, and that's kind of the deal is he's going to set the tempo of this match, again, because he's going to choose which players of mine are highest on his hit list, and he needs to go at them hard because I do have this skill advantage on a lot of the players. And we've seen traditionally that people haven't gone specifically after some of my weaker players or my more skilled players. And if somebody chooses to do so and really knock somebody out, then it could be the end of my season. Because I have one or two key players. I won't tell you who they are, but that really make my team that really make my team who they are. And if I lose them, then I lose my advantage of I'd say I lose my head of steam.
Yep. And for Jester, this is going to be a game that's going to be an uphill battle for you. You're outskilled when it comes to players being leveled up and with their abilities that they have, but you have a couple natural abilities that, if used right and launched in the correct direction against the right points, and with a little sprinkle of luck, you can turn that around and really bring it home. Be careful not to lose your werewolves early, and use those werewolves appropriately, and get your flesh golems always in the mix.
Air power.
Yep, and that is what's going to happen for the playoffs. Do you have anything else?
No, I'm it.
All right. Well, good luck to everybody, and don't get knocked out.
See you later.